Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you're doing well. My name is Dr. IYABO. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here today. If we haven't met, quickly, I'm a board certified pediatrician, a physician entrepreneur, and a serial entrepreneur. I'm an author. My book Permanent Happiness is on Amazon. If you haven't read it, I hope you will get your copy. I'm a business and lifestyle coach. So I love to coach about everything from making your money to attracting your honey. I'm also a motivational speaker, and I'm a mom of 4. I have 2 daughters and 2 stepsons, and I'm a wife to my honey. So welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's topic is one of the topics that one of my Instagram friends requested, and honestly, I'm so happy that you guys are letting me know the topics you'd like me to speak about, because there's nothing like that, right? Really knowing what it is that my viewers love and being able to put it out there for them. So today's topic is me kind of wearing my pediatrician gown today, or my pediatrician outfit, and giving you what I know about this topic. And it's also my experience as a mom. So the topic for today was requested again by one of you on Instagram, and you said that you wanted to know the kind of advice that you can give to your college age kids, your college age daughters. And I thought that was brilliant because, again, I'm a pediatrician and I am a mom of a 17 and a 23-year-old. Those are my daughters. My stepsons are only 6 and 9. So today I'm kind of doing the first part of this because, again, I know you're probably going to, you women that have daughters of college age or high school age, you're probably going to want to share this video with them. And I know that the attention span is not like ours, right? So I'm going to break it up into 2 or 3 series. So today I'm going to give 5 points that you can discuss with your college age daughters on what they should know, some advice points to give to them, and some tips on how they can create a more solid future. So let's dive into it. The number 1 thing is remind your college age daughters that self-care first, okay? So if you're a college age kid and you're between the ages of, I guess, 18 or 17, in some countries it's 16. I started college when I was 16. Self-care is number 1, and self-care, to break it down for you, means taking care of yourself first. So that comes, or that's another video on its own, but moms or dads, if you're watching this, you can then have a discussion with your daughters about what self-care means. Self-care means taking care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, psychologically, and just, in every way, taking care of yourself first, because it's what you pour into your body at this age that you're going to reap later on. So if you end up at this age smoking or drinking a lot or doing drugs, you're going to start harming your body, and that's what you're going to reap later on. What you sow into your body is what you reap. So self-care is very important. Make sure you're not partying too much, you are sleeping well, you are still exercising. It doesn't have to be any big thing. I think a lot of colleges do have gyms. You can get involved in some sports, or you can just make sure that you're walking on your campus and getting in at least 8 to 10,000 steps every day. So sleep is 1, exercise is 2, eating well. Make sure that if you have roommates or even if you live by yourself, you're stocking up on fruits and veggies, drinking water. Don't start drinking soda and alcohol and doing drugs and all of that. So self-care is 1. Don't let yourself go when you're in college, because it's what you put into yourself that you're going to reap later on. This is super, super important. I'm sure you guys were not expecting this as number 1, but our teenagers these days live very reckless lives, and it's very important that we remind them that it's what they put in their body now that they're going to reap when they're older. Honestly, I was lucky when I was growing up. I honestly didn't like the taste of alcohol, so I rarely even drank. And honestly, I'm telling you the truth, I have never smoked anything in my life before. Not a cigarette, not weed, not anything. And when I tell my daughters, they don't believe it. Of course, I do drink now, but I drink a glass of wine, maybe 2 at the most 3 times a week. I rarely drink, and I've never smoked anything before. I've never done any drugs. So this is why you guys say I look young, because I haven't put all those toxic things into my body. And I've always been a very good sleeper. I've never had a problem sleeping. I guess when I first started my menopausal hot flashes, I did have some sleep problems for a few weeks, but I quickly changed my routine, made my room a lot colder, and I changed some things, and I was able to start. I cut out all caffeine because I used to drink decaf coffee. So self-care is number one. Girls, take care of yourselves. Sleep, eat well, don't do drugs, don't smoke, don't drink excessively, and please don't drink and drive. So that's number one for self-care. And don't gain excessive weight, right? You don't want to go to college a size 4, and by the time you finish, when you in 4 years time, you are now a size 10 or 12 or 16. Watch what you eat. Number 2, no man is going to save you in your life, okay? No man is going to supply, and I say man or even woman, I'm talking about your romantic and your love relationships here, but honestly, you can apply this to anything. It's like no human is going to save you. You are going to save yourself. So don't become a codependent human. Don't rely on people to always supply this for you and supply that for you. But honestly, this number 2, I'm really referring to you and your boyfriend. Your boyfriend is not going to supply all your needs. He's not going to be your forever. I mean, your boyfriend, well, if you do get married, he'll be your forever. But don't think that a man is the person that is going to supply all your needs. Be responsible for yourself. Get good grades, be focused in school, make sure that you're focused on good grades and doing really well in school, so that when you do eventually get married, you have the skills to be able to provide for yourself. So I want to make sure that young girls in college just let go of this mentality that once they get married, their husband is going to provide the big house for them and the flashy car, and they're going to go on this vacation and that vacation and to the beach and to the mountains, and it's going to be lovely, and they're going to have this fantastic honeymoon and everything. Yes, it may happen, but don't have expectations that are so high about somebody else. The problem with us women is we rely on the outside world, we rely on men and boyfriends and everybody to give us a happiness when our happiness is within us. So if you're a young girl, 18 or 19, and you're listening to this, I'm not saying that you shouldn't fall in love and have a boyfriend who cares for you, but don't depend totally on this boy and think that he's the one who's going to provide everything for you, because that's a tall order for anybody. If you were this boy, you would be stressed out too. So we expect too much from the men we're with. Work towards being a good person, somebody who can provide for herself, so that you then attract a man who can also provide for himself. And when both of you come together, you form a partnership, right? Rather than having a codependent marriage. A lot of women expect to be codependent in marriages, and this is what ruins a lot of marriages. You expect your husband to provide this, provide that, provide this, provide that, and you decide to be a stay-home mom, and then if he doesn't provide it, you get, mad. But if you both are working, you both have a job, you can both afford a nanny, right? You can both afford help, you can do it together. So, this is what I always tell women, and it's fine if you want to be a stay-home mom, but make sure you want to be a stay-home mom in the future because you really want to do that. Don't become a stay-home mom because of society or because of some fantasy expectations that you'll be a stay-home mom and your husband will provide everything for you. If you can't have your cake and eat it. So if you want a man who's going to provide all that for you, he's going to have to work really hard. So you may not see him, So if he's traveling from here to there, making all the dollars so that he can provide all these things for you, you may not see him. So isn't it better if you both work a 9-to-5 job and you both can bring in something into the family financially, and you can have a really good partnership, an equal partnership, and you can put money together to hire a nanny, a cleaner, and all of that, rather than expecting your husband to provide all these financial things for you, and then you get distraught if it doesn't happen. So parents, I know you probably get what I'm saying. I think you need to sit your daughters down to explain to them further what I'm saying. The society tells us as women that our husbands have to provide all these things for us, but it's not realistic, and this is what makes a lot of women gather resentment as time goes on, because they decide to be stay-home moms in their 20s. Then when women get to their 30s, 40s, and they haven't worked a day in their lives, and they just feel like their life doesn't have meaning or purpose, that's what happens. So it's better for you to be a productive member of society, to have a job, and you and your husband have a job, and you can both support each other, you can both afford the good things of life. So nobody's coming to save you. Prince Charming doesn't exist, okay? You be your own Prince Charming, and you have your own dreams. If you're dreaming of having a big house or whatever, start saving up, even while you're not married, to buy that big house. I hope you understand my train of thought. Don't fill your whole mind up in college about this man who's going to come into your life and be this provider of everything lovely and shiny for you, because it doesn't exist. And even if it does exist, it comes at a cost, because if the man is providing everything shiny, he will have to work a lot to keep providing those shiny things, and you may not have a husband at home, so you may have to raise your kids alone while he's working till 10 p.m. or while he's traveling or flying around to make all the money. So number 2 is really important. This is why I'm spending time on it. Number 3 is super important. These 5 things I'm discussing today are really important. Number 3, your friend circle can make or break you. This is very important. Girls, be careful of the people that you hang out with. Be careful of them, because at your age, you are not yet, they say that the human brain is fully developed at age 26. At your age, you are not able to make the best choices yet for yourself. So if your parents are telling you they don't feel comfortable about a friend that you're hanging out with, listen to your parents. It's because they've seen something, they're wiser than you, and they know what they're talking about. Because at your age, at 16, 17, 18, 21, 22, your brain is not yet fully developed. You're not able to make the wisest decisions. So if somebody else is telling you that this friend looks like she's on drugs, don't associate with her, don't spend time with her, she can pull you into what isn't good for you. Listen to them and slowly just distance yourself from that friend, because your friends can make or break you. At the age you're at, college age, is the age where kids spend a lot more time with their friends. Obviously, you're in college. If you're living on a college campus, you're not living in your parents' homes anymore. So you're around these friends all the time. And if it is a really good friend who has really good habits, who motivates you, who's a really good example, that can just make your life so much better and help you be focused. If it's a person who is a Christian and you can both go to church together, and you both are involved in sports together, and you don't party all the time, you have hobbies you do, you take care of your dorm room well, those are the kind of friends you want to be around. But be careful with the friends who are partying all the time, who are getting drunk, who are using drugs, who are sleeping around. Those are not the kind of friends you want to be around. I was a very wise teenager, and I'm not just saying this. You can ask my friends. I wish my parents were alive. You could ask them. I just distanced myself from friends in college that had bad habits. I could tell them from a distance, and I just did not associate with them, because I was taught by my parents that be careful, because your friends can make or break you. So girls, be careful. You want to move around people who are positive. If everybody is doing drugs, it doesn't mean you should do drugs. If everybody is smoking, it doesn't mean you should smoke, right? If everybody is getting high, it doesn't mean you should get high. If 9 out of 10 people are getting high, you be the 10th person that says no and walks away. You do the right thing, okay? You don't need to belong to a group. You don't need to belong to a pack. You don't need to feel like you're accepted in a group. If they're doing it and you don't want to do it, get up and drive home. Nobody's tying you down. But number 3 is very important. Be careful about the friends you hang out with when you're in college, because this again is going to be the foundation of your life. So many kids get hooked on drugs when they're in college, and they stay in rehab forever, or they never get out of rehab. Okay, so this is when the bad habits really happen. So please, please, please be careful. Once you smell any kind of behavior, just move away. And weed is a drug. I know that you guys out there in college, weed is like weed everywhere. Weed is a drug. It's a gateway drug. I'm a doctor, and I'm telling you that a lot of people who smoke weed, a lot, not all, end up trying a harder drug at some point or the other. So be very careful about just saying it's weed, everybody smokes it. Well, if everybody's putting their fingers into fire to burn their fingers, are you going to follow them? Well, it's the same thing with drugs. You're burning the insides of your body, and you can't see it. You can't visually see what you're destroying inside you, but you are destroying the physiology of your body every single day that you put these toxic and harmful things into your body. So be careful of your friend circle. Number 4, stop dreaming about your wedding day obsessively. Okay, again, this is kind of related to number 2. It's not that you shouldn't dream that one day you will have a nice wedding and you'll wear a beautiful dress and all that, but stop dreaming about it obsessively. Okay, and I add the word obsessively because once in a while, if you're having a chat or you're goofing around with your friends and you're all talking about your wedding day, that's fine. But it's not something that you should put all your energy on. You know why? Because that's the wrong thing to be obsessing on at this age, in college age. What you should be obsessing on is your purpose. I know that that's not what a lot of teenage girls are thinking of when they're in college, but that's actually what you should be obsessing over, your life purpose. You should be chatting about that with your friends or journaling about it, thinking about it, that what is it that my life purpose is going to be? How am I, once I finish college, how am I going to change the world to be a better place? How am I going to be an influencer in this world? How am I going to make, there's a group of people you want to help while, when you're in college, you like little kids or you want to help homeless people or disabled kids, start obsessing over that. Start making a plan. Start writing it in your journal. That's what you should be obsessing over, not obsessing about how you're going to wear some nice long Cinderella-like dress on your wedding day and have this wedding and that wedding and that. You can think about it once in a while, but don't obsess over it. Fill up your brain with obsession about your life purpose, about how. Start asking God when you're in college that, God, as I become an adult, as I step into adulthood, I want to know what you want me to do on this earth. Start journaling about it. Talk to friends and chat about life purpose. That's something that a lot of college-age kids don't talk about, but I want to really introduce that into kids, girls, as early as possible, what life purpose means. Life purpose is start thinking about your creative gifts. You like to sing, you like to play the piano, you like to act, you like to, you may want to design an app. Think about something creative that it is you want to start doing. You want to be a YouTuber, right? That's a creative gift. Start thinking about something you want to do to change people's lives in a massive way. That's what you should be obsessing over, your life purpose. And you'll see that once you start putting your energy in that, it's from that you're going to meet some nice boyfriend out there while you're pursuing your life purpose, even while you're in college. Many people do it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't focus on your college studies. Remember, I said start journaling about it. Journaling is intentional. It doesn't mean that you have to become an active YouTuber while you're still studying because you're busy or designing that app. Or in the evenings or some weekends when you have time, yes, you can start working on your life purpose. Because I'm coming to number 5 and you'll see what I mean about still working on your life purpose in alignment also with going to your college classes, right? So obsess about your life purpose, about how you're going to use the creative gifts God has given you to live out your purpose. That's what you should be obsessing about when you're 16, 17, 18, 19, thinking about how you're going to use that life purpose to change the world. And parents, please do not stop your kids from talking about their creative gifts. I know this is like an African thing when kids talk about loving music or singing or musical instruments or baking or things like that, or acting, we're like, that's not a job. Don't do that. That's terrible. Let your kids explore their creative gifts, because you see how the world is changing. It's not only big academics that make people happy and help people earn money. There are many people who use their creative gifts to help the world, and they become millionaires. So you don't have to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or architect to be doing something meaningful in the world. As long as they finish college and they have a college degree, it's fine for you to help them augment their creative gifts, parents. So please stop stopping your kids and stop telling them to forget about their creative gifts, because believe it or not, those are gifts that God actually gave them. Academic gifts are acquired, but they're creative gifts that we're all born with, that God actually wants us to use on this earth. And when they're in college, they can start to kind of develop those gifts slowly as a hobby or as something part-time, or at least intentionally journaling about it and obsessing about their creative gifts and their life purpose, rather than obsessing about some wedding day with a boyfriend that doesn't even exist yet. And then the last one for today is, and parents, you may have to explain this to your kids, but the last one is that, girls, remember that you may start earning money with a job that is not actually your life purpose, and that is okay. Okay, let me explain. So your life purpose isn't always your career. Okay, it's not always your career. Some people, they're lucky, their career happens to be their life purpose, but with some people, it's not their life purpose. But it's okay starting with your non-purpose work as a career to at least be able to earn money, to start being financially independent, to start putting money together to maybe rent your home, buy your home, pay your own bills, pay your own car notes, all of that, saving up and all of that. It's okay to have a career. Well, you do have to have a career, and remember, your career may not be your purpose work. So for instance, if you graduated and you became an engineer, you get a good engineer job, and you do like the engineer job because it's paying you well, but you don't love it. Some days you kind of have to drag yourself to do it, but you have to do it because you have to do it, because that's what you went to school for, and you have to pay your bills, you have to take care of your family if you're newly married. But that may not be your purpose work. But it's okay to start with non-purpose work while you are trying to figure out your purpose work. But one advice I want to give from number 5 is never ever stop searching for your purposeful work, because that's what's eventually going to make you very happy. That's what's going to help you build real wealth. That's what's going to make you financially free. And that's the kind of work you're going to do that will not seem like work later on. So I found that work for myself well into my 30s and 40s. But my mission is to start helping young girls of college age start to figure out what purpose work means for them while they're in their non-purpose work. I'm sure that parents, as you're listening to this, you understand what I'm saying. So if your daughters don't understand, you can explain it to them that your career that you're going to college for is really good. Yes, go do it, because when you finish, I don't want you to move back into my house, and I want you to be independent. But you may not love it, but that's okay, because in life sometimes we may have to do some things we don't love, but you still have to figure out your purposeful work. And most of us have those two things. I'm sure you, as a mom, if you're listening to this, you probably have your non-purposeful work that has helped you over the years get money, pay your bills and live a life, because we need money to survive. But now you're looking for ways to tap into your purposeful work as well. And purposeful work is the work that we're actually using our God-given creative gifts to do. And it's the one that doesn't feel like work. Like right now, for me, recording this YouTube video is purposeful work, because it doesn't feel like work to me. I have my ring light, I'm sitting here, I'm talking, and I love doing it. It's just really nice for me. I'm doing it in the comfort of my home. I didn't drag myself to do it. I just love doing it, and I'm monetizing it. So that's purposeful work for me, right? My non-purposeful work was, I feel like my pediatrician career is both. My pediatrician career is both purposeful and non-purposeful, because there's some parts I love about being a pediatrician. There's some parts I don't love about it. I love the managerial part, owning a practice and overseeing everybody. I used to love seeing patients, but I grew not to love it anymore because it became kind of boring and monotonous for me, giving shots and treating ear infections and all of that. So purposeful work and non-purposeful work are both really important in our lives, and finding a balance with them is key in the beginning of our career. But the goal is, as we go on from year to year, we want to do more of purposeful work and less of non-purposeful work if we can. And you'll find that most purposeful work tends to be something that has to do with creativity and entrepreneurship. Most of the time, it doesn't matter. Some people are employed and it's purposeful work for them, but you have to find that job that you love, that you want to just jump out of bed to do, and you're not dragging yourself to do it. Then you know that that's purposeful work. So I hope those 5 tips did help for advice for your college age kids. I'll go through them real quickly. Number 1 is self-care. Number 2 is no man is going to supply all your needs. You will supply your own needs with the help of God. Number 3, your friend circle is key. They can make or break you. Number 4, stop dreaming about your wedding day. Instead, dream about your purposeful life. And number 5, you may have to combine purposeful work with non-purposeful work until you can get to doing your purposeful work 100%. So I hope this video helped. I will do a part 2, maybe part 3, because there are many more things that our college age kids should learn. But these 5 are the ones they should focus on now, because they're really, really important. There are more, and I will get to the part 2 of this soon in the next several weeks. So I hope you loved this. If you did, please make sure you share it with your friends who have daughters who are college age kids. And I hope you will subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I do release 2 to 3 videos every week. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Love you all, and God bless.